From titans to gas bags, Extinction brings a lot of new creatures to the game. But what creatures are actually useful in PvP? In this video, I'll be counting down the top 10 most important creatures for PvP. Hello Dodo crew and welcome back for another video on ARK Ascended. Grab a bottle of water and let's get straight into it. At number 10, I got the Enforcer. The Enforcer mainly spawns in the center of the map, in the Sanctuary, and rarely at the border between the Wastelands and the Sanctuary. You cannot tame it with regular means, but after killing one, it drops a blueprint, which can then be used to craft your own Enforcer. Similar to tamed creatures, they have predefined stats when spawned, which reflects in the stats they get when crafted. On a map where corrupted creatures are basically everywhere, Enforcers are so useful because they deal an insane 4 times damage to corrupted creatures, which makes them an easy pick for doing OSDs to get some insane loot. With a bunch of Enforcers, doing easy OSDs becomes so easy you can basically do them in the first 15 minutes of your playthrough. Additionally, they have great mobility, which makes them an excellent mount in mid and early game before you tame yourself some better mount. This makes the Enforcer versatile, fast and easy to tame, and I recommend getting this guy early on. At number 9, I got the Dreadnoughtus. The Dreadnoughtus spawns all over the Wastelands and has some additional spawn to the east and west side of the map. The way to tame Dreadnoughtus is quite unique and quite difficult. It takes a lot of preparation to take on this titan-killing monster, but after you tame it, this beast will take down titans pretty easily. You can tame it by feeding it element and then kiting it into an element vein. After it's eaten all the element and you've killed all the corrupted creatures that try to attack it, it's yours. The Dreadnoughtus deserves a spot in my list, mostly because it's the easiest way to kill the Forest and Ice Titan, which yields a stupid amount of loot. The downside is that he's very slow and his special attacks aren't as strong as originally expected by the community, which makes him great for farming loot, but actually pretty bad in PvP. Nonetheless, this guy is still a hard hitter and can one-shot pretty much any creature you may encounter during your next PvP run. In 8th place, there is a tie between the Giger and the Karcher. Both only spawn on the border between the Snowlands and the Wastelands, on the border between those two regions, and in some smaller areas in the Forbidden Zone. For most PvP players, taming one of these two is not a challenge, as they're among the most commonly tamed and used creatures anyway. To tame a Giger, you simply need an insane amount of strength to knock it out, and for the Karcher, feeding it some creatures is enough. They share the 8th spot, because they're both equally useful for making the element veins and OSDs. Some people prefer the Giga because of its overall higher DPS, and some prefer the Karcher because it gets more DPS the more creature it kills. Both of them are pretty unbeatable when it comes to dealing damage, but in fact, it does not matter which of them you tame. I consider this more like a personal preference for doing OSDs and element veins. Whatever you're doing, I recommend getting both of them. At number 7, I have the Quetzal. The Quetzal flies around the wasteland and it's never been easier to find and tame it than on Extinction. With a gene scanner, you can find them in a matter of minutes. Knocking them out as a solo player is still a bit of a pain. The Quetzal is undoubtedly the best pack mule you can tame on Extinction, and it's the best tame if you want to raid pillar bases in the Sanctuary or in the Forbidden Zone. But the main reason you should get a Quetzal on this map is that it's the easiest way to take on the Desert Titan. The Titans are by far one of the easiest bosses to fight, and most of them can be cheesed, and the Desert Titan is the easiest of them all. A Quetzal coming from behind can easily kill the Desert Titan because it has a bad turning radius, and that means it cannot hit the Quetzal as long as it stays behind the Titan. At number 6, I got the Velonosaur. The Velonosaur is pretty much the strongest creature in the game when it comes to defending your base. Due to its turret mode, the Velonosaur is the most commonly used creature that just stands around waiting to kill enemies. The Velonosaur spawns pretty much everywhere in the desert biome and is very easy to find. It's pretty easy to tame if you know how to build a somewhat working trap. Even if you reach your turret limit, you can still place more and more Velos around your base, especially in Extinction, where corrupted creatures can destroy your base at any time. The Velo is a valuable ally. The Velonosaur, set to turret mode, is also a pretty strong strategy for doing OSDs and element veins. Just a bunch of Velos can shred enemies in seconds. So I would definitively recommend getting and breeding a bunch of high-level Velos. Okay, at number 5 I got the Armadoggo. It usually hangs around the sanctuary and can be spotted and tamed pretty easily. Overall right now they're not rare and you will find them pretty much everywhere. Armadoggo is not only your new best friend, he can also teleport. If you farmed all the stuff you need, just put it in his inventory, place a sleeping bag and spawn in your base. After a few seconds, Armadoggo will spawn close to you, still having all this stuff in his inventory. So I would for sure recommend getting Armadoggo as companion. At number 4, I got the Gacha. Gachas can be found in the Underforest, the deepest part of the Crater Forest. They can be tamed by simply throwing stuff at them. Gachas are the easiest way to get a ton of loot in such a short time. It feels like cheating having a bunch of gachas around your base. You can literally farm all resources by building an army of gachas, getting some pegos, and taming a bunch of snow owls. Usually all alpha tribes own bases just for producing gacha crystals, as they're the easiest way to get a ton of high level armor, weapons and sometimes even structures, making gachas a must tame for everyone playing Extinction. In 3rd place, I have the Snow Owl. The Snow Owl can be found around the snow biome, and you can already find a ton of videos on how to tame it on YouTube. It is one of the most common flyers when playing PvP, as it is fast, has a decent weight stat, and with its ability, it can heal most tames almost instantly. Its poop can be used to feed gachas, after which the gacha will have an increased spawn rate for gacha crystals that drop more and higher quality loot. In my eyes, Snow Owls are a must-have for anyone playing Extinction, and especially in PvP, they are so strong that you need them in almost all raids. At number 2, I put the Gas Bag. It can be tamed pretty easily in the Wastelands, and especially all around the border between the Sanctuary and the Wasteland. Not only is it one of my most favorite creatures on Extinction, it's also the perfect beast of burden. While carrying huge amounts of resources, it can still get around the map pretty fast due to its jump. Its weight stat is amazing and should be your primary creature to tame from early to late game if you want to soak turrets during raids. When bloated, it can soak an insane amount of ammo and is undoubtedly the best soaker you can currently tame on any map. In my opinion, you absolutely have to tame the Gas Bag. I cannot imagine anyone not taming this beast, especially if they're playing PvP. In 1st place, I have the Managarum. This only spawns in the snow biome, especially in the northern parts. It's hands down the best option if you're doing OSDs and element veins, as its breath attack does not damage the vein and drops. It's the best mobility mount you can tame right now, and even if you fail in PvP, you can't get killed while riding this thing. The mana is so strong that a lot of people want it removed, and on some official servers it's already been removed as a tameable creature because it's just that strong. Considering Gas Bags in 2nd place and Snow Owls in 3rd place, 1st place for mana isn't even close. The difference in strength between the Snow Owl and the mana is so great that you could easily put another top 10 list between them. It got nerfed a bunch of times and it is still way too strong, that's why you need to use it. I hope you liked this video and I'm thrilled to read if this video has helped you. Hit the like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm and consider subbing to the channel. Alright, Frodo.